Today I am painting this vivid, beautiful tree. The entire video is filmed in real time. Hi, I am Vipin. Follow me on my journey from a piece of paper to an awesome piece of art. The watercolors that I am using on this painting is from White Nights, the famous watercolor brand from St. Petersburg. The colors that I am using today are lemon, yellow, yellow ochre, red ochre, scarlet light, ultramarine, blue, green, emerald green, umber, sepia. I started off with a mix of lemon and yellow to show the highlights on the foliage. Now I am adding a bit of red ochre for the shadows. After that, I am applying green. The idea here is to add variance to the foliage. I have no particular reference picture for this painting. I am painting spontaneously, just enjoying the process, not a premeditated one. Now I gently dab the mop brush that's just been dipped in water. The intention is to spot wet the paper randomly. The idea is to get a series of bleeding and sharp edges on the contour of the foliage. Now I am adding more yellows on the top as I felt that the highlights must be more prominent on the foliage. Now I am adding more shadows by randomly skidding my brush across the paper. I am using number 12 round brush for this. For the shadows, I want to give a brownish tinge of green. Here the intention is to cool up the whole scene because right now I believe the painting is more towards the warmer side. I want to balance the warmer tones with more cooler colors. I am now applying more sepia and green with a touch of blue to add more depth. I want the leaves to protrude, stick out from the surface of paper. It will add more depth and thereby adds more character to the painting. Now I am using number 12 round brush to get that dry brush strokes along the edges of the foliage. I intend to accentuate the shadows to get the depth I desire. As shadows gaining more prominence, the highlights must go one step ahead. Hence, I am adding more yellows in the upper part of the tree. For that, I am using number 2 mop brush. This contrast of highlights and shadows will make the painting stand out. Somehow I am not satisfied with the basic shape of the tree, so I am going to extend the foliage downwards. I apply a mix of scarlet light and emerald green to represent the shadows. It seems the mix didn't come out the way I expected. The red is more prominent here, have to tone it down by mixing more green and sepia. Now look at the dark areas of foliage. They are gorgeous, isn't it? Let's create some branches and twigs. I used ultramarine, red ochre and sepia for creating them. I am using number 2 mop brush for this. Next I am painting the tree trunk with almost the same colors as for branches and twigs. I am adding a tinge of green to give more hues to the painting. For the twigs, I am using long liner rigger brush. Right now I am doing it slowly with lot of patience, as one stroke will make or break the painting. Overall, I am happy with the final painting. Now what remains to be done must be done with lot of patience and planning. Finally, some grass and shrubs that are friends of the tree. They have a symbiotic relationship, a mutually beneficial one. The tree is giving much desired shade for the grass and shrubs. I hope you had a great time watching me play with colors. I would really appreciate if you subscribe to my channel. Also, don't forget to like my video. Leave a comment or two about my painting. Of course, it will help me to know what you think about my painting. I will be back soon with the next painting. Hope to see you then. It's me, Pipin, signing off.